All right, good evening, everybody, and what a long, strange trip it's been. This tournament that we created a few months ago is getting down to the end. So tonight we return to the 19th century, the 1894 Baltimore Orioles against the 1884 Providence Grays, and these teams are tied at 2 games apiece. The other matchup in this round three best of seven. The 1907 Chicago Cubs had at one point held a 3 games to nothing lead over the 1908 Cleveland Naps. Cleveland has won the last two, so they are within striking distance now of tying this one up in Chicago. But tonight, some 19th century, and let's just get to it. And we'll set this up in case Ken Castro comes in, that he can manage Providence. But as of game time, he is not here. So, let's see. I don't think we went Paul Radford in there as a pitcher. Let's look at our rotation. I think we're going to see what kind of record Radford has here. Ooh, abominable. Abominable. Let me see. I think we're going to have to start Radbourne. He can just go. So I think Cousin Ken would want Old Haas in their batting. So let's do that. He'll be pitching. And let's put Radford where he usually goes in right field, as opposed to Sweeney to save a pitcher. And I know he likes Radford batting there, and Radbourne batting 8th. All right. So looks like we're ready to get underway, and here we go. 1894 Baltimore Orioles and the 1884 Providence Grays. All right, hope you enjoy this trip back in time, as I know I have. Let's look at the starting defense for the 1894 Baltimore Orioles. In left field, Joe Kelly. In center, Steve Brody. In right, Wee Willie Keeler. From first to third around the horn, it'll be Dan Bruthers, Heine Reitz, Huey Jennings, John McGraw, Wilbert Robinson, and Bill Hawk will get the start tonight. Bill Hawk in this tournament for the 1894 Orioles, a 6.93 under an average, 1 win, 2 losses, 24 2/3, pitched 10 walks and 11 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .320 against Bill Hawk. In 1894, a 5.81 under an average, he went 16-9 for Ned Hanlon's Baltimore Orioles. In 206 innings worked, he walked 78 and struck out 68. In the National League that year, hit .316 against him. All right, before Paul Hines steps in, let's have a look at the weather. It is 61 degrees, it is clear, and the wind's 13 miles per hour in from left center field. And we are ready to get underway, and hopefully Cousin Ken does make it. All right, Paul Hines is hitting .244 with 5 runs batted in and a home run for the Providence Grays. He leads it off. Bill Hawk finishes his warm-up pitches, and the 1-2 pitch, and Paul Hines a swing and a miss to start the game. And Bill Hawk hangs up his first K. And here's first baseman Joe Start. He bats from the left. Start hitting .342 in this tournament for Providence. Hawk deals the 2-1. Start swings, fly ball. Center field, Steve Brody has it in his sights and gloves it for out number 2. Second baseman Jack Farrell now. He is sporting a .206 average in the tournament with 3 runs batted in. Robinson sets the target. Hawk deals the 2-0 and swung on by Jack Farrell. Great play by John McGraw. Diving stop from the knees. Hard peg to Dan Bruthers to retire Farrell and the Providence Grays. Providence goes in order. We go to the bottom of the first. No score. Starting defense here for the Providence Grays. And left field, Cliff Carroll, and center Paul Hines. In right, Paul Radford. From first to third, it'll be Joe Starts, Jack Farrell, Arthur Irwin, Jerry Denny. Catching, Barney Gilligan, and pitching, Old Hoss Radbourn. In this tournament, 2.31 earned run average, 1 win, 2 losses, 1 save, 12 walks, and 22 strikeouts. And just go on Baseball Reference to read about his amazing 1884 record. All right, Hall of Famer Joe Kelly in there to face Hall of Famer Old Hoss Radbourn. Kelly hitting .327 in this tournament, and he's batted in 11. Radbourn with the 2-2 pitch, and Joe Kelly a swing and a miss. Strike 3. So that is a strikeout for Old Hoss. And here's the pitch to John McGraw. Bounding ball to second, the Jack Farrell bumbles, and we have our first error in the game, and the speedy John McGraw aboard for the Orioles. McGraw with 78 steals in 1894. Big Dan Bruthers, .392. He has hit 2 home runs and 8 runs batted in. Dangerous bat. Radbourn sets and delivers. There goes John McGraw, the throw down from Gilligan. And the slide, the tag by Arthur Irwin, not in time. And John McGraw is in there in scoring position for the Baltimore Orioles. Dan Bruthers back in the box, and the 0-1 fastball. This one popped foul on the right-hand side. Giving chase is Jack Farrell, and he will run out of room. So the count now 0-2 on Bruthers. John McGraw with a successful stolen base at second. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Dan Bruthers swings on the fastball. Bounding ball to first. Joe Start will take it to the bag himself, and moving to third on the play with 2 outs now is Little Napoleon John McGraw. Wee Willie Keeler now. Keeler having himself a fine series. .345 with 5 runs batted in for Wee Willie. Radbourn from the stretch in the 2-0 delivery. Curveball. This one chopped to third. Jerry Denny on to Joe Start to retire Keeler and the side. So despite the error, no runs, no hits, and 1 error, and we've played 1, and we are scoreless here. Due up, Cliff Carroll, Barney Gilligan, and Jerry Denny. Cliff Carroll hitting .333 with a home run and 7 runs batted in. Bill Hawk with the 0-2 delivery, and this one, a big swing and a miss. And Bill Hawk picks up his second strikeout of the game. So 1 out now for catcher Barney Gilligan, hitting .194, 7 runs batted in for the Grays. Hawk has the sign from Wilbur Robinson. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And this curveball sent to right field has some distance, but Wee Willie Keeler running back and making a fine catch. So 2 up, 2 down for Providence here in the top of the second as Jerry Denny comes to the plate. Jerry Denny hitting just .132, 2 home runs, 8 runs batted in. Bill Hawk deals the 1-2, and Jerry Denny, that one is a swing and a miss, strike 3. Third strikeout by Hawk, and we go to the bottom of the second inning, and we are scoreless here. We're allowing the League Park to masquerade as Messer Field, where Providence played in 1894, as there are no usable ballpark diagrams, whatever extant, for Messer Street. I told you guys that during the week I would be starting early during the week. Absolutely, and happy hump day to you. Yeah, with this with work schedule, you know, Friday nights I can do late games and things like that, but sort of from Sunday through Thursday, kind of difficult to start at those 10:30 and 11 o'clock times, at least the way I used to. So thanks, Big Clue, for coming in, man. All right, Steve Brody leads it off here in the bottom of the second inning. Brody hitting .294, a home run, 11 runs batted in. Radbourn deals the 1-0 delivery now. Fastball. Brody swings, base hit up the middle, and Hines gets it and fires it. Oh, wait, it goes to Radbourn, and as Radbourn gets the ball, Steve Brody takes off for second, so he really never stopped at first, so they're going to score that a double. And Steve Brody in scoring position. That's the first hit by either team in this ball game. Yep, we're not. Not all night hours like Ken, who's not in here, and this is a big game. Not that either of these teams will go home out of this best of 7, but being tied at 2-2, so I set up the lineup that I thought Cousin Ken would like. All right, here's Huey Jennings batting with nobody out, and Steve Brody in scoring position. Jennings, 375, 4 runs batted in. Radbourn with the 1-0. Fastball, this one chopped to second. Jack Farrell will go to Joe Start for the 4-3 putout, and Steve Brody will move to third on the play. So 1 away, and the first Baltimore run, potential run, just 90 feet away. As Big Clue says he's happy to root for any non-Orioles 19th century team. All right. So Wilbert Robinson now. Robinson hitting 378. 379, sorry. It's been a long day. 378, a home run, 10 runs batted in. Brody coming down the line from third, the 2-0. And this one, curveball sent to right. Radford has it between his hands, but scoring or tagging and coming in to score is Steve Brody. So Baltimore jumping out to a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the second inning. 2 away bases empty for second baseman Heine Reitz. Heine Reitz hitting 320 with 13 runs batted in. Joe Murdy says, "Hey Beatles, hope the job is going well." Yeah, it's a paycheck, buddy. That's the way I look at it. It's a paycheck. So welcome in, Joe. Welcome in. Radbourn now, the 3-1 pitch. Heine Reitz lays off that 3-1 pitch. So the spitball missing inside, and Old Haas issuing a walk here. So a runner on, 1 in for Baltimore. I hope to run the company soon. All right, Bill Hawk now. Bill Hawk is 0 for 10 in this tournament. Reitz with 18 steals in 1894. Good lead off first. Old Haas Radbourn checks Reitz at first. And here's the 0-1 pitch. And there goes the runner, and Reitz is cut down. Nice throw. Barney Gilligan coming up there gunning. So 1 run, though, and 1 hit, no errors to complete here at Messer Street. And it's the Baltimore Orioles 1 and the Providence Grays nothing in this Game 5. All right, it will be Arthur Irwin, Old Haas Radbourn, and Paul Radford for the 1884 Grays. Irwin hitting just 167 with 2 runs batted in. Bill Hawk has whiffed 3 thus far. And here's the windup, and the 0-1 fastball chopped to shallow second, but Heine Reitz making a fine play to retire the Providence shortstop. So 1 up, 1 down for Old Haas Radbourn. Radbourn hitting just 0-5-0, 1 for 20 overall. Radbourn does have 2 RBI in this series. Hawk winds and fires the 2-0 fastball sent to center field. Steve Brody draws a beat on it. Can of corn. 2 up, 2 down now for right fielder Paul Radford batting in the number 9 slot. He is hitting just 150 with a run batted in. Hawk deals the 1-1. Radford sends this into foul territory. Third base side giving chase is Little Napoleon. McGraw will run out of room. So Radford stays alive. The count 1-2 as Bill Hawk winds and deals. And 2 hopper to short. Huey Jennings to Dan Bruthers. And once again, a 1-2-3 inning. We go to the bottom of the third. And it's the 1894 Orioles 1 and the 1884 Grays nothing. All right, so Bill Hawk was up last time, but Heine Reitz was gunned down. So back in there again. So it would be Bill Hawk, Joe Kelly, and John McGraw. Old Haas with the 0-2 delivery. Hawk swings and misses. Second strikeout by Old Haas Radbourn. 1 away now for left fielder Joe Kelly, who struck out against Radbourn last time. The wind and the 1-1 pitch. Fastball, and this one scorched to left. Joe Kelly easily picking up the double. This one got by Cliff Carroll and had to get to that ball quickly. Joe Kelly, a demon on the base paths. 46 steals in 1894 for the Orioles. John McGraw, nothing for one. He was safe on an error back in the first. Radbourn deals the 2-0 delivery. Fastball swung on down the right field line, and Paul Radford gets it near the line. Joe Kelly tagged and started for third, but good strong throw out there. Radford with an excellent arm, and Kelly will hold at second. So 2 away now. Dan Bruthers, nothing for one. And he grounded out his last time up. Kelly leads off second. Robinson checks the runner. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Spitball. This one, easy fly ball to center field. Paul Hines makes the catch, and that does it. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 3 are in the books here. Baltimore maintaining a 1-0 lead over Providence. And yeah, I had warned Cousin Ken to be 19th century tonight, but he might be rolling up a game or out with the missus. Hard to say. Hey, there's World's Worst Gamer, and there's Dwayne Martz. Welcome in, gentlemen. Hope you're both doing well tonight, and hope this hump day finds you well as we slide on into the weekend. All right, here we go. Back at the top of the order now for Providence, and Paul Hines, the center fielder, struck out against Bill Hawk back in the first inning. Hawk delivers the 1-2 pitch, and the changeup in there, and called strike 3, and that is number 4, K number 4 for Bill Hawk now. Joe Start strides to the plate. Providence first baseman fly to center back in the first. Bill Hawk winds, and the 1-0 curveball. This one base hit center field, and the little no-hitter is broken up here in the fourth. So first hit in the game for Providence with 1 down. And Joe Start leads off first as Jack Farrell comes in now. Farrell grounded to third back in the first. Bill Hawk from the set. And big swing and a miss. Strike 1. They had the pitch out going, but Joe Start hanging on there at first. So now the count 0-1 on Cliff Carroll or Jack Farrell. And there goes Joe Start to throw down, and Wilbert Robinson gets him. So a caught stealing in this game. Now for each team. So 2 outs, bases empty. Jack Farrell grounded to third. Bill Hawk with the 0-2. Farrell sends this to first base. Bruthers will trot to first and take it to the bag himself. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. Nobody left on thanks to the caught stealing. We go to the bottom of the fourth, and it's Baltimore 1, Providence nothing. We are 19 minutes into this game, and that's it. Wee Willie Keeler grounded to third back in the first. Radbourn deals the 2-0 fastball. This one hit out to Jack Farrell. Farrell drops the ball, trying to get the release going, and drops it out of his hands. So Wee Willie Keeler aboard, and Keeler with serious wheels, 32 steals. So this Providence battery will be watching him as the center fielder Steve Brody comes in. He doubled back in the second. Radbourn throws over. Keeler back just in time. Radbourn once again, the 1-1 pitch, curveball. This one bounced to second. Farrell will go to Irwin, but there will be no relay throw. So Steve Brody aboard on the fielder's choice. 1 down. Huey Jennings now. He grounded to second his last time up. No doubt Baltimore groundskeeper. I left the infield dirt full of little surprises there. Isn't that the truth? Isn't that the truth, Big Clue? So has Steve Tate given anybody an answer on when Shanks 3 is starting? When are you guys doing that? What's going on? Steve down in the Well, I'll call it the ninth circle of hell basketball. You certainly can't put it in the 10th circle. We know where that spot belongs. All right. Brody aboard, one down. Steve Brody with 42 steals last year, or in 1894, I should say. Huey Jennings grounded out back in the second. One down. They are looking for a double play here. Radbourne deals. Jennings in the first pitch. Nope. The throw down. Steve Brody will have second pilfered successfully. So now it's Baltimore bringing an aggressive running game. Providence playing very conservatively. They only had 5 people sign up. Well, I mean, I'm interested in selecting a team, but yeah. I mean, you know, I'm interested just as long as I know when the draft is. Certainly, I mean, since we're not actually playing out any games, that works. Certainly works for me. So hopefully it will go. I think this will be fun. I think people are maybe a little bit of afraid that there's going to be a commitment, and there's not, except for one night, and then one other night when we sim out the season, and it's fun. I'm certainly willing to be part of it. Since we're not, especially since we're not playing out any games like we tried with the other one. All right. Huey Jennings batting with one down, Steve Brody in scoring position, and Jennings grounded to second. Radbourne with the 0-1. Jennings swings this one line to left field, and coming in and making a nice catch out there. Let's give him a little love. Is Cliff Carroll. So 2 down. Steve Brody holds at second now for Wilbert Robinson. Robinson sacrificed back in the second, scoring Steve Brody. Oh, so I'm one of the 5? Yeah. So I know, just one night. Come on, people, don't be afraid of baseball history. It's fun. Shanks 3. You get a random year and a random team from that year. Draft the best team you can, and then we get everybody. We get a bunch of people on mic, a bunch of people on chat. It'll either be on Steve's channel or maybe MV's channel, or mine. I don't know, whatever. And we just play it out, do some baseball, see how things are going, play it a month at a time through the night, and just have some fun. Bring some community together. So think about it, and if you're interested, let Big Clue know, please. All right, Wilbert Robinson batting with 2 down and a runner in scoring position. Radbourne from the set, and the 1-1 pitch. Fastball swung on, chopped deep to short. Arthur Irwin quickly up with it and over to Joe Start for the 6-3 putout. And the Orioles strand one in scoring position, and we go to the top of the 5th inning. And the 1894 Orioles leading the 1884 Grays 1-0. So just looking right now at the line score, Baltimore 1-2-0, 3 left on, and the Grays 0-1-2, and nobody left on. Grays managing 1 hit off of Bill Hawk through 4 innings of work. If you haven't checked it out, Legends. Hey, there's Bernard Strom. Welcome in, Bernard. Legend Sports Universe did a game today. Not sure if Bernard did with my work schedule now. I don't get a chance to catch day games. So do check out those channels. And yeah, have a lot of fun. Have a lot of fun. Have a lot of fun. Also, Dwayne Martz, who is doing 1961 in Digital Diamond Baseball. Ball games this year that with that he gets us. Puke something. What are we puking something? Jesus believed even without a rally cap was behind home plate in today's. I don't even know what the score was. I have no idea. Seriously. No idea. My work, no chance to listen to any baseball or anything like that. So, unfortunately, Cliff Carroll leads it off here in the top of the 5th. He struck out. And Bill Hawk with the 1-0 delivery, spitball. And this one chopped to second, reads quickly onto Dan Bruthers, and Cliff Carroll is out number 1. Well, actually, yeah, he's doing APA, using Digital Diamond Baseball is what I meant, yes. Thank you for that correction, though, Bernard. Been a long day, my friend. All right, Barney Gilligan, nothing for one. Ah, so Pittsburgh finally won one, so we come off our um, 5 game losing streak. But we're in last place now. We're behind the Cardinals, so it is what it is. What it is. What it is. And there is Legends Sports Universe again. Catch that game earlier today. I will catch it either on the backside of this one tonight or tomorrow or what have you. But wanting to try to keep up with that. But Legends doing now a lot of games when I can't see them at the same time. So Barney Gilligan is nothing for one with one down, and last time up he flies to deep right center. Bill Hawk deals the 2-2 pitch to Gilligan. This one, just a little grounder up the middle. Reitz ranging to his right, fires on to Dan Bruthers, and that is out number 2. Yep, all good. It doesn't go bad. Hey, there's JT Dutch. Welcome in, JT. Yeah, working is so much fun. I'm going to be auditioning though for a Magic Theater here, so if I land that job, goodbye to what I'm doing right now and back to doing what I love, sleight of hand magic. So, guys, please wish me break a leg, not good luck, but wish me break a leg. As this weekend I hope to do, because they require like an audition video. So when I get back to doing what I love, then I haven't had a chance to do magic or indeed music professionally since the end of 2018. So really, really looking forward to getting back into showbiz. But in the meantime, nothing wrong with earning a regular paycheck. Nothing at all. All right. 2 down, Jerry Denny bats with the bases empty. He struck out back in the second. Bill Hawk deals the 2-1. Denny swings. Fly ball center field. This one has distance. Steve Brody. And I mean, slams up against the wall, covering all kinds of real estate there from the center field to the right field pasture for the final out. So, no runs, no hits, no errors. Bottom of the 5th. It's still the 1894 Orioles 1, the 1884 Grays nothing. Legends just cursed me. He just cursed me. So, oh yeah. So Bernard, Vegas is it's the mecca for magic. It really, really is. So that is the mecca for magic, and that's pretty much all over the world. Vegas is the place to go. So the reason I say break a leg is in show business, that's what you say. Break a leg, because if you say good luck, and again, this probably isn't too much known outside of show business. If you say good luck, that's considered a wish for bad luck. So you always wish break a leg. Not sure where that came. There's a couple legends going way back, but that's been in show business for forever and ever and ever. Break a leg. Just I don't want to break a hand. I'm a magician. I need the hands. But all right, not that I want to break a leg. But anyhow, I thank you for the good wishes, guys. Thank you, legends, and everybody else. All right, Heine Reitz walked back in the second. Radbourne deals the 3-1 and the 3-1 pitch. This one missing. This one up and away. So that's the second walk issued by Old Haas. Heine Reitz on at first with 18 steals in 1894. And I always mention steals because this is 19th century and dead ball, so lots of stealing and things like that. All right. Anyhow, Bill Hawk struck out back in the third. Reitz into a good lead at first. Radbourne checks the runner, throws over, and Reitz is picked off. Reitz is picked off. So Heine Reitz was caught stealing earlier in the game and now picked off by the good throw there. Good pick-off play. So 1 down, and this could be huge for Providence. No lead safe in this league at all. All right, here comes the 0-2 pitch to Bill Hawk. Fastball, chopped to second. Jack Farrell to Joe Start for the 4-3 putout. and that is number 2. And we go back to the top of the order now for Baltimore, and Hall of Fame left fielder Joe Kelly. Kelly doubled back in the 3rd. Radbourn brings the 1-0 pitch. This fastball, just a little harmless grounder to short, but will Irwin get it in time? They will get Joe Kelly. That ends the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. And we go to the 6th. Half hour into this game, and it's Baltimore 1, Providence nothing. Richard Davis, welcome in. Break a Powerball leg, or proverbial leg. Absolutely, thank you, my friend. Yep, so Bernard, in answering Big Clue's question, if he's looking forward to the A's calling Las Vegas home, Bernard says, yep, can't wait for the Red Sox to visit the A's. Might see some other games, however, at 72. You might enjoy watching a 65-inch TV, right? No parking issues. How about it? I hope you're staying safe from the heat. And anybody right now, I think we're all being touched by this heat. It's not as bad here in the mid-Atlantic states as what's happening in the Southwest, and I'm so worried about my friends and family in Europe, and of course keeping those in Asia in our prayers as well. This is just this unrelenting heat. Oh my God! Stay safe, stay in there. Just play baseball, man. That's what it's all about. All right, Arthur Irwin is grounded to second. That was back in the 3rd inning. Low-scoring game here, and only 2 errors. Bill Hawk deals the 1-1 pitch, fastball, base hit left field. This one past Huey Jennings into left. Kelly and Brody converging. Kelly up with the ball and gets it in. So, second hit for the Providence Grays. And here comes Old Haas. He's 0 for 1. And with Ken not here, I'm letting the computer manage these Providence Grays. So, Hawk throws over, and Arthur Irwin holding first. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Radbourn gets a good bunt down. Wilbur Robinson pouncing on it, and the sacrifice is successful. So the tying run now in scoring position for the Providence Grays. And that will bring up right fielder Paul Radford. Bernard says, by the way, his 1912 Red Sox are starting to make their move. Nice. Only 7.5 back. Probably will broadcast again Saturday morning. Oh, I'll be so looking forward to some baseball by Saturday morning. Good stuff. Good stuff. And as legend says, if you're lucky, Bernard, the Red Sox will visit the A's in the Franchise Stars American League Championship Series. Those A's are ridiculous. Not taking anything away from the Red Sox, certainly nor the Cleveland Indians, and the American League side of things on Legends channel. But those A's are ridiculous. They are ridiculous. All right, and Cleveland giving the Red Sox some trouble there. And check out the Montreal, St. Louis. And the other one, near the Mets, I didn't get a chance to catch. What was it, Mets Giants? So I did not get a chance to catch that one. But good stuff. Good games all the way down the line. Yeah, I think it's going to be A's Giants as well. I really. It's Big Clues talking about 2023 baseball here. The A's are only 2 games behind Kansas City now. But yeah, it looks like A's Giants. Yes, exactly, Big Clue. All right, man. Back to it, and we're really missing Ken Castro tonight. But all right, Paul Radford, nothing for 1, grounded to short. Irwin in scoring position. Bill Hawk with the 0-2 fastball swung on, and this one absolutely ripped, drilled to left field. And Joe Kelly giving chase, and coming in to score is Arthur Irwin. So Paul Radford picks up the RBI double, and the Providence Grays, without the help of their usual manager, Ken Castro, tied up here in the top of the 6th inning. So 1 away. And Paul Radford in scoring position as we go back to the top of the order for center fielder Paul Hines. Hines has struck out twice against Bill Hawk. Here's the 2-0 delivery. Fastball. This one sent deep to center field. Steve Brody back on it. This one off the wall. And coming in to score is Paul Radford. So Paul Hines with an RBI double. And all of a sudden the Providence Grays leading this one 2-1 in the sixth. 2 in for the Grays here. They were held scoreless in the first 5. Bernard announcing. Also tomorrow at 1:30 p.m. Eastern, which I won't get a chance to see, the 1950 Red Sox will be playing. They are 4-6 in their last 10, while the Yankees are 9-1 in their last 10, and have caught Boston for first after being 5.5 back. Yikes! Oh, really? You're gonna do this Friday morning? I've been waiting for a legit live broadcast, and you're going to do it Friday morning, and I'm going to miss it. Thanks, Legends. You're a hell of a nice guy, aren't you? I'll get lucky and catch another live broadcast. It'd be nice to get a little bit of interaction with you, but all good. So probably drop Red Sox in the evening. It's all good, man. It's all good. All right. So 1 on, 1 out. Paul Hines at second for Joe Start, who is 1 for 2. He singled to center back in the 4th. 2-1 Providence lead. Bill Hawk deals the 1-2 pitch. Fastball, swing and a miss. 2 out, and Bill Hawk has whiffed 5 in this game now. Jack Farrell has grounded to third and to first. The 1-2 pitch. Fastball. Bounding ball to second. Heine Reitz will go to Dan Bruthers to retire the side. But Providence picks up 2 big runs, 3 hits, no errors. Bottom of the 6th. And it's the Providence Grays 2, the Baltimore Orioles 1. And Little Napoleon, John McGraw, Dan Bruthers, and Wee Willie Keeler will bat for Ned Hanlon's Orioles here in the bottom of the 6th. When we go to the 7th, we'll look at these pitchers' lines. There he is. Real life got in the way. Welcome in. The Providence manager is here with Providence leading 2-1 in the bottom of the 6th. So welcome in, cousin. I picked the lineup that I thought you wanted. Radbourn gets the start tonight, and Radford batting 9th. Radbourn in the 8th spot. All right, let's see if Old Haas and Providence can keep these Baltimore Orioles quiet. John McGraw is grounded to second. He was safe in an error back in the 1st, and then gave it a ride down the right field line in the 3rd inning. Radbourn brings it. McGraw swings in the first pitch. Long fly ball center field. Back on it is Paul Hines at the wall. 1 up, 1 down. Big old loud out for Little Napoleon as Dan Bruthers takes his place in the box. 0 for 2 for Big Dan. Old Haas winds up, and the 2-0 pitch. Fastball swung on. Fly ball center field. Hines back on this one and making a nice over-the-shoulder catch. 2 up, 2 down for Baltimore, and Wee Willie Keeler will have a go. Keeler was safe on an error in the 4th. 0 for 2 for him. Radbourn deals the 1-2 pitch. Fastball. This one, hard ground ball to Jack Farrell at second. On to Joe Start at first. And Baltimore goes 1, 2, 3. And we head to the 7th, and it is 2-1. Let's look at Bill Hawk's pitching line here. He has worked 6, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, and 5 strikeouts. Brewers face the Brave in 6 of their next 10 games. Anything to bring those Brewers down makes me happy. Makes everybody in the National League Central happy, right? Okay. Cliff Carroll now will start things off for Providence here in the top of the 7th. And we'll look at Haas's pitching line in the bottom of the 7th. So Cliff Carroll in the contest, 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out. Bill Hawks 0-1 delivery now. And this one, oh, great stop by Heine Reese, ranging far to his right. He'll retire Cliff Carroll for out number 1. Highlights for Providence defensively. A pickoff and a caught stealing. And of course, one Providence runner caught stealing as well. So good tight ball game, 2-1 here. This might be the closest we've had between these two teams. And I think the closest we've had among all the 19th century teams that we've had in our tournament, named for cousin Ken Castro and his penchant, his predilections, if you will, for certain agricultural products. Barney Gilligan, nothing for 2. Here's the 3-1 pitch, and the 3-1, this one missing up high. Barney Gilligan draws the walk. It's 1 out now for Jerry Denny. Flied to very deep right center last time. And that was that great play by Steve Brody, practically covering a third of this ballpark to get the 3rd out. Bill Hawk brings it now. Jerry Denny. There goes Barney Gilligan. The throw down by Robinson. Barney Gilligan is caught stealing. So bases empty as Ken called for the steal, and I didn't see it, but the steal not successful. So bases empty. Jerry Denny batting, and here's the 1-0 delivery to him. Fastball, and this one's going to be a gapper to left, and Jerry Denny picks up the double, and the caught stealing hurts. But if Arthur Irwin can get himself a base hit, Jerry Denny can score. Irwin singled his last time up, so he is 1 for 2. The 3-1. Curveball missing. So 2-1 now for Providence. Aaron Reed joining us here at Messer Street, which looks suspiciously like League Park, but we're going to pretend. All right, here is Old Hoss Radbourn batting with 2 down. Radbourn has flied out and bunted out. And actually, that was a sacrifice, I'm sorry. So Radbourn just 0 for 1. Bill Hawk has a little chat there with Wilbert Robinson from the set in the 0-1. Fastball, base hit up the middle by Old Hoss Radbourn. Jerry Denny rounding third. Steve Brody will throw it into shortstop. Good strong throw to keep Arthur Irwin at second. But the 3rd Providence grade run scores here in the 7th inning, and it is now Providence 3. Baltimore 1 with 2 out and 2 on. Arthur Irwin at second. Old Hoss Radbourn at first, helping his own cause, picking up the 6th Providence hit in this game. Number 9 hitter now, Paul Radford. Radford with an RBI double that scored Arthur Irwin back in the 6th, tying this one up at that time 1-1. All right, so here's Bill Hawk's 1-1 delivery. Curveball swung on, and this one up the middle, but Jennings to Bruthers, and we are in the 7th inning stretch. The Grays 3 and the Baltimore Orioles 1. Well, Clinton Parks attempting to be a curmudgeon. I guess I should correct him. First, welcome in. Second, there, Clinton, why don't you write a letter to Dave Cook? He is the one that selected the lineups. So, computer selected the lineups. The only thing I did was put Radbourn in the 8th slot and Radford in the 9th spot, which is what Ken Castro likes to do when Radbourn's pitching. So, yeah, sorry. What can I say? The manager's not here. Computer sets the lineup. Anyhow, welcome in, Clinton. Good to see you. All right. Steve Brody now leads it off here, but first let's look at Old Hoss Radbourn's pitching line. He's worked 6, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. All right. So Steve Brody has a double. in this game. He is 1 for 2. Old Haas into the wind in the 0-2 pitch, fastball, and this one blooped over Jack Farrell's head for a base hit into right field. So Steve Brody aboard, and good wheels for him. 3-1 your score. Baltimore holding the Grays scoreless through 5, and then the Grays scoring 2 in the 6th and 1 in the 7th. So at one time, Baltimore with a 1-0 lead in this game. Huey Jennings now. Jennings, 0 for 2. Brody an aggressive lead off first. Radbourne with a check of the run. Throws over. Brody dives back. Close play. Brody gets up, dusts himself off. Gilligan sets. And here's the pitch. There goes Steve Brody. The hit and run was on. Start bubbling the ball, but he's able to get to first. Wait, they've got... Do we have a rundown? Looks like we do have a rundown. Let's look and see what we have. Let's see. This is one of those things with Action PC. You've just got to look. All right, so Brody's trying for second. Hard grounder to start at first. Picked up. Fires to second and safe. All right. So it looked like we had a bit of a rundown there. And let's look at this. Let's look at the video double play and see what we can get. So Jennings goes up the line. Yep, they get Jennings is out, and Brody makes it to second. All right, so we called it right. 1 away, Baltimore runner in scoring position. The tying run comes to the plate, and Wilbert Robinson. This is one of the things where I do have to give the edge out of the park baseball. You see what's happening. You get weird plays like that, but if you have a rundown in out of the park baseball, you will see it. All right, Wilbert Robinson sacrificed scoring Steve Brody, and that was the first run for Baltimore, and the only run for a while for Baltimore, and that was back in the 2nd. Clint uses papyrus. You use a rock and chisel for your words. All right, nice. Oh, nice. So Legend says they started today processing ratings for the incoming draft class, and of course I'm sad to hear that the legends for the Pittsburgh Pirates, Wagner not making it yet. Oh my God. So still, the Pirates did pretty well in Season 1 of the Franchise Baseball League of Legend Sports Universe without the big stellar Pirates. So proud of my Buccos in that league. They made a good run for it, and did better than the Cincinnati Reds. So there you are. All right, Wilbert Robinson. Here we go. Runner in scoring position, 1 away. Radbourne deals to Robinson. The 2-2 pitch, base hit, center field. Hines up with it, rounding third, and coming in to score the throw to the plate, and they got him. They got him. Gilligan applies the tag, the strong throw in from Paul Hines in center field, and the runner is gunned down. Lineups be damned, Dr. Parks. So 2 out and 1 on at first, as Cousin Ken says, wowza. Yep, you don't get more legendary than Hannes Wagner. So, yep, both teams have a ton. Oh, I know the Reds have some great players. So, yeah, I hope those wanker Mets enjoy it while they can, because the Bucks and the Reds are coming. That's it. Right, Big Clue giving some love to my favorite baseball player of all time. Calling Wagner, he says he would argue that Wagner is the greatest player in National League history until Willie Mays. Damn near 100 years worth of baseball. Yep, and yet I read all these people in Facebook groups, the greatest shortstop of all time is Derek Jeter. And I would say hold my beer, but by that time I'm coughing up a very, very nice either a Guinness or a Belgian stout when I read that nonsense. Not to take anything away from Jeter, but come on. And I can name 4 other shortstops I think that were greater than Jeter. One of them was a Pittsburgh Pirate, Archie Vaughn. Okay. Jeter's better than Rizzuto, though. Yeah, yeah. No, Jeter was a good shortstop. Anyhow, Heine Reitz has walked twice, and he was also caught stealing. Radbourn deals to Heine Reitz, the 0-1. Reitz swings, base hit right field, and Radford up with it, coming around to score on this one is Wilbert Robinson, and Heine Reitz picks up the RBI triple, and Baltimore now within striking distance. It is now 3-2. 2 down and a runner at third for Bill Hawk. Bill Hawk is struck out, grounded to second. There we go. Love this quote, JT Dutch. If a man with a voice loud enough to make himself heard all over the United States should stand on top of Pikes Peak and ask who is the greatest ball player, untold millions of Americans would shout, Wagner. Yeah, we know, World's Worst Gamer. That's okay. Yep, exactly, from Ken Burns Baseball. Yep, that's all right. And you know what? I love those players. Ted Williams, not a 5-tool player, but certainly Babe Ruth for his pitching greatness. Lou Gehrig, a fearsome slugger, yeah. But Wagner for superstar, a true 5-tool player. Wagner played virtually every position. Can go on and on and on. And that's not to take anything away from Ruth, Gehrig, Ted Williams. Ted Williams, great hitter, slugger. It's not that he wasn't a good outfielder. He cared about hitting, and he did it well. And that's cool, World's Worst Gamer. Totally get it. Totally get it. And they were great players. Great players. You can't deny that. And I'm not. Anyhow. But let's forget Wagner for a second. I'll take Willie Mays over Lou Gehrig, Babe Ruth, and Ted Williams anytime. I'll take the Say Hey Kid anytime over those guys. And that's big. I mean, Babe Ruth was a hell of a pitcher. I'll still take Willie Mays. Speed, power, could throw, hit for average. I mean, just what a phenomenal ball player, Willie Mays. But that's the beautiful thing about baseball. We can all think, who's the greatest, who are we going to take in our lineups? And that's why I love it. So, World's Worst Gamer, what you say is every bit as valid as what I say, and I love it. Now, if you say you take Derek Jeter over Hannes Wagner, then we're going to have to take your temperature and not from your mouth, if you get what I mean. All right, Radbourn pitches from the stretch in the 1-1. Hawk swings, fly ball, right field. Paul Radford has it. 4 out, number 3, but Baltimore scores a big run. 3 hits, no errors. We go to the 8th, and it's the Providence Grays 3 and the Baltimore Orioles 2. Agree on Mays 100%, says Ken Castro. Yeah. Ken Burns Baseball. I don't know, Big Clue. I think it was excellent, the Ken Burns documentary. Yeah, there's a lot I think that was skipped over. I think that there's some merit to the fact that it was rather New York-centric, but New York was kind of the epicenter of baseball. I know at one time Ken Burns had talked about revisiting, and I'm not talking about extra innings, but he said that there was so much more that they could have covered. They could have done another whole 9 innings at least. And, there was a couple World Series that were just skipped over in Ken Burns Baseball. While Babe Ruth was undeniably, just in his own league, really was an entire inning devoted to just Babe Ruth merited. I'm not sure. But then again, even non-sports fans have heard the name Babe Ruth, just like non-rock fans have heard of the Beatles. So I don't know. But I thought it was good. In fact, I thought it was the best documentary I've ever seen on baseball. Just brilliant. But yeah, wasn't perfect. But I think that what Ken Burns did was he is definitely he's raised the bar, because a lot of the so-called documentaries that Major League Baseball did, like if you ever saw their 100 years of the World Series, eh. The film adaptation of Glory of Their Times I think was excellent. But Ken Burns took on a lot there to cover the national pastime, and I do hear you say that it's the best, but leaves a lot to be desired. It does. And of course, ever since that documentary came out, there have been some myths that have been done away with, certainly, and a few things that weren't exactly accurate, including his treatment of Ty Cobb. I think he was more going off of Al Stump's book, probably around that time. But on the good side, if you've read the Harold Seymour books, especially the first two, the early years in baseball's golden age, Ken Burns and Jeffrey Ward drew a lot of source material from Dr. Seymour's work, and I am always recommending those books. And the third one is called Baseball: The People's Game. It's about semi-pro and amateur. Dr. Seymour passed before I think there was going to be a planned 5 books in that series, but he wrote 3 of them. PhD, and just a brilliant read. Brilliant read. So Harold Seymour, in his baseball series, Baseball, the early years, so starts from its supposed beginnings. And then the Golden Age deals with the dead ball era, and the People's Game is the non-professional or semi-professional game. And as I was listening to the narration through, it's like, oh, I read that. I read that in Dr. Seymour's book. So at least for the first 3 or 4 innings of Ken Burns baseball. All right, Paul Hines leads it off here in the 8th. The 2-0 delivery, and this one, comebacker to the mound, Bill Hawk on to Dan Bruthers, and that will be out number 1. Joe Start now will have a go. Yeah, would like it to be improved upon. I think Ken Burns, and he's done so many great documentaries, but I think kind of like Al Pacino, who's played so many great roles, right? And he said, he's quoted as saying, and I saw this in an interview, and he said, I think that at the end of it all, the role I will be most remembered for is Michael Corleone. And I think for all the great stuff that Ken Burns has done, I think everybody's going to remember Ken Burns mainly for the Civil War documentary, which was, talk about raising the bar. Wow. And having one of the preeminent authors, historians, many of them, but having Shelby Foote was just an absolute stroke of genius. May his memory be eternal. All right. Here is the 3-0 Joe Start. Taken all the way. So Bill Hawk issues his 3rd walk of the game as Jack Farrell. He has grounded out 3 times. It's Angel 7, Yankees 3. Yeah, the most of the popular mythology about Cobb, indeed. Al Stump was a jerk. Ken, did you know? I think, didn't you mention that you knew Al Stump or had met Al Stump or something like that in your journalistic career? Yes, Foote was definitely the Buck O'Neill of the Civil War documentary, J.T. Dutch. Absolutely mesmerizing, just mesmerizing. And what caused me to buy his Civil War trilogy for the 3rd time, actually. Every time I move, I always forget it, but not this time. And so beautifully written. Not only an historian, but what a writer he was. And Buck O'Neill, I will say it one more time and many more times, Damn the Baseball Hall of Fame for not electing him while he was still alive. He never asked anything from baseball, ever, 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 ever. And it was said he was waiting for the call, and he got a call that he wasn't elected. What they do, they put a statue. Now he's in, but here is a man that said, I didn't care. I forgive the racism. I forgive the racists. I hold no anger. And this man, along with power hitters and power pitchers, helped rescue baseball after that disastrous 1994 stoppage. And not to give that man a plaque in the Hall of Fame while he was alive was, I think, one of the just the most shameful moments in the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum. Joe Start leads off first as Jack Farrell steps in now. 0 for 3, as we said. Bill Hawk deals. And this one in the inside corner for strike one. Joe Start didn't get a good jump. Here's the 0-1. And there goes Joe Start, the throw down by Robinson, and that will not be in time. Joe Start picks up the steal. Okay, you never met him, but you did say 2 years ago he's a piece of shit. And you're absolutely right. Absolutely right. And he makes a cameo in that movie with Tommy Lee Jones, by the way. So, I forget, who's the actor that played Al Stump? I forget, but it's like, Al Stump's probably thinking, I wish I'd looked. Hey, this guy, because he was in Major League. Who was that actor? Who was it? Something Wall? I forget his first name now. But, who knows? All right, here comes the 0-2 to Jack Farrell. Fastball swung on. Chopper to third. McGraw up with it. Had trouble getting it out of his glove, and he pays for it. Jack Farrell will pick up the infield hit. So that's number 7 for Providence, and just one down. Bill Hawk is going to try to induce a double play off of Cliff Carroll. Cliff Carroll has grounded out twice and struck out. Bill Hawk with a 1-2 from the set. Fastball. Carroll swings. Oh, what a stop by Huey Jennings. Then fires onto Reitz and Reitz to Bruthers for the 6-4-3 double play. How Jennings was able to stop that ball and initiate an inning-ending double play. Just showing greatness out there and why he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Providence clinging to a 3-2 lead. Ken Castro has the hand up. See why Ken is holding up the pink glove of despair that Steve Tate calls it. Previous play, no worries. Okay. All right, Radbourn doing a good job keeping these Baltimore bats fairly quiet. Just 5 hits thus far, over 7. Has been touched up for 2 runs, but Providence holding on to those 3. Here we go now. Joe Kelly, always a danger. He is 1 for 3, has a double in this game. Old Haas winds in the 1-0 delivery. Fastball to Joe Kelly, and here we go. Base hit past Farrell into right field, and Radford having trouble with that ball. That's going to be in single and an E9, and Joe Kelly in scoring position. He represents the tying run. John McGraw now. McGraw has been quiet in this game. 0 for 3. He was safe on an error back on the first. Kelly an aggressive lead off second. As Radbourn deals the 0-1. Spitball. McGraw. Oh, comebacker. But Radbourn unable to hold on to that bullet. And that's going to be an E1. And McGraw aboard thanks to the error. And moving on to third, Joe Kelly. Kelly was actually off on that pitch. So runners at first and third. Nobody out. Let's see what manager Castro wants to do. Dan Bruthers, nothing for 3. Is flied out twice and grounded out. And there comes the glove. Good evening, John. Good to see you. Infield in. All right. Radbourn now to deal to Brewler's going to try to cut off Kelly at the plate. Here is the 1-2 pitch to Dan Brewler's curveball. This one bounced to short. Irwin will fire on to Joe Start, and he looks Kelly back to third. So that's one down. Two still in scoring position, though. Kelly at third, McGraw at second for Wee Willie Keeler. Keeler was safe in an error in the fourth, but is actually grounded 3 times. Are we keeping the infield in? Cousin Ken. Here comes the glove. Infield in. All right, this is going to be a big out for Radbourn. He deals the 2-0 pitch. And Keeler, base hit right field. That RBI, that's 2 RBI single as McGraw and Kelly come in to score. And the Baltimore Orioles jump back in the lead here in the bottom of the 8th. It's now 4-3. Still only one down. Radbourn needs a double play here, and Steve Brody is probably not going to oblige him, as he has a double and a single in this game. Radbourn lets it go now. And there goes Keeler, the throw down, and not in time. Wee Willie Keeler picks up the steal. Runner now in scoring position. Still just one away. The delivery from Radbourn to Brody. The 0-1, Steve Brody swings base hit right field, coming around third, and scoring is Wee Willie Keeler. Brody picking up the RBI. And the Baltimore Orioles now with a 5-3 lead over the Providence Grays here in the bottom of the 8th. 3 in for Foxy Ned's Oriole 9 as Huey Jennings steps up. Brody. Good wheels there at first. Radbourn with a check of the runner, and Jennings, there's the throw down. Brody has it stolen. Things could be falling apart here for Providence. We'll see whether Radbourn will stay in to get these other 2 outs. Runner in scoring position, 1 away. And here comes the glove. And they're going to intentionally walk Jennings with first base open to get to Wilbert Robinson. All right, Wilbert Robinson now at the dish. Steve Brody at second. Huey Jennings at first. Robinson on the day is 1 for 3. Sacrifice RBI back in the second, and then a single. And that was that big play in the 7th when Steve Brody was gunned down at home. Radbourn works to Robinson, the 0-1. Robinson swings, hard ground ball to third, and it's going to be Denny to Farrell to start for the inning-ending double play. We go to the 9th. Baltimore leading 5-3. Baltimore in the poised to go up 3 games to 2 on Providence, but Providence within striking distance, and they will send up the number 5, 6, 7 hitters: Barney Gilligan, Jerry Denny, and Arthur Irwin. JT Dutch saying the intentional walk working there. I remember Sir Alec Guinness best in Bridge on the River Kwai. Great Shakespearean actor. But yeah, he played a good Obi-Wan, didn't he? All right, Barney Gilligan 0 for 2 with a walk to lead it off here for Providence. Bill Hawk into the windup in the 1-0, and Gilligan base hit into left field. between Jennings and McGraw. So here we go. The tying run now comes to the plate, and Jerry Denny, who is 1 for 3, doubled back in the seventh. See what Cousin Ken wants to do here with Barney Gilligan on at first. Gilligan was gunned down trying to steal earlier in the game. Wordsworth Gamer says, really getting pissed off with Out of the Park. Once again, I didn't notice a pitcher was tired because they don't put the damn pitch count and tiredness meter right on the mound like other games. The tiredness meter's down under the pitcher, and to fix that problem Out of the Park, you kind of have to work with some pitcher tendencies. It's there. It is definitely there. There's not. It will show how many pitches he's thrown, and his meter's there. It's definitely there. So I'm not quite sure what you might be talking about, World's Worst Gamer. It's definitely an out-of-the-park baseball. All right, hit and run being called by Ken Castro. All right, Bill Hawk checks the runner. And here is the pitch. There goes Barney Gilligan, and this one chopped up to first, and Bruthers will go to Hawk covering, and Barney Gilligan moves to second. So runner in scoring position, one down here in the ninth. Oh, I see. So it has to do with where it's positioned. Gotcha. Okay. Got it. All right. Here's Arthur Irwin now. Irwin in the game has a single, and he's walked and grounded to second. Bill Hawk deals. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Arthur Irwin. Fastball swung on, bounced to second, and Heine Reitz will go to Dan Bruthers for out number 2. Moving to third on the play is Barney Gilligan, and now it's up to Old Hoss Radbourn. Radbourn picked up an RBI back in the 7th. So, can Providence somehow tie it up here with 2 outs in the top of the 9th, or will Baltimore take a 3-2 lead? We're about to find out as Bill Hawk works out of the stretch to his mound opponent. The 1-2 pitch, fastball, and this should end the ball game. Chopper to Jennings at short, Jennings to Bruthers, and that indeed is your ball game, and an excellent ball game it was. Nobody goes home yet, but the Baltimore Orioles take this one from the Providence Grays. Let's look at our game recap. Providence now looking at a 3-2 deficit, so this one far from over. This is a best of 7. For the victorious Baltimore Orioles, 5 runs, 8 hits, no errors. For the 1884 Providence Grays, 3 runs, 8 hits, and 4 errors. Old Hoss Radbourn takes the loss. He'll go to 1-3. And Bill Hawk gets the win and will improve to 2-2. Highlights in this game for the Baltimore Orioles: Joe Kelly, 2 for 4 with a double. Heine Reitz, 1 for 1 with a triple and 2 walks. And Steve Brody goes 3 for 4 with a double and 2 steals. I think Steve Brody should be the MVP in this game, but they're probably going to give this one to Bill Hawk. All right, so Hoss Radbourn in a losing cause went 8, 5 runs, 4 earned, walked 3, struck out 2. So 272 average, earned run average for Radbourn. And for Bill Hawk, he went 9, 3 runs, all earned, walked 3, struck out 5, and a 5.88 earned run average. Stolen bases tonight was all Baltimore. Joe Start had the only steal for Providence, who usually has a very aggressive running game, even before Cousin Ken gets here. But John McGraw, Steve Brody had 2, and Wee Willie Keeler. Joe Start was caught stealing, as was Barney Gilligan. Heine Reitz was caught stealing, was also picked off. Runs batted in for Providence: Paul Hines, Hoss Radbourn, and Paul Radford. For the Orioles, Steve Brody, Wee Willie Keeler with 2, Heine Reitz picked up 1, and Wilbert Robinson as well. We had 1 intentional walk, 1 sacrifice hit. Steve Brody, Huey Jennings making a great play at short, and John McGraw. We had one outfield assist. That was Paul Hines. Providence stranded 5, as did Baltimore. Game-winning RBI, Willie Keeler. And the MVP is Steve Brody, so the game and I agree. Nice. All right, let's look at our playoff bracket now, as we're getting ready to wrap business up for the night. Here we are in round 3 in this best of 7, and we have the Baltimore Orioles with a 3-2 lead over the Providence Grays. And the other side of it, we have the 1907 Chicago Cubs trying to stave off these 1908 Cleveland Naps who have suddenly gotten hot and won 2 in a row. So we're getting down to the end, and for a 19th century fan like Cousin Ken Castro, there at least will be a 19th century team in the final round to see who wins it all. So that's a good thing. Will it be the Cubs? Will it be the Naps? We will see the next time we meet, gentlemen. And that's it. Baby Doll Jacobson was a different nickname, but you found one that may top him. I'm not sure. The next 2 are in Providence. No, I think the next one is Providence, and then the last. I think it's Baltimore now. Trying to think. Baltimore 2, Providence 3. So there's one more game in Providence. I'm pretty sure. Can't remember right now. And unfortunately, the way this is set up, unlike out of the park baseball, I can't tell. There's no way for me to tell who played where. Unfortunately, I can't. Let's look at playoff leaders here for a few minutes. My eyes don't want to look at playoff leaders right now. Apparently not. Oh, Jerry Denny. How about Jerry Denny there, man? Jerry Denny and Dan Bruthers leading in home runs with 2 in this tournament. Pretty nice. Let me see who's been our speedster. Are you going to give me some stealing here, or what? Probably not. ERA, well, ERA is always suspect in short things like this, so we're really not going to worry about it. The pitcher of note here would be Addy Joss leading in ERA with what? Something ridiculous, 0.79. I think Mysterious Walker was the original term for Ghost Runner. Oh, really? That's cool. What haven't you complained about, Clint Parks? You complained tonight and accused me of picking these lineups, so I guess that counts as one. But that's fine. That is all good and dandy. Phew. So, that does it for tonight, guys. Thank you for coming in. This is going to be an early off at 10:22. Yeah, so it's 10:22. It's timed it. Real name, pitcher for the Rebels. Oh, you picked me the Lions over the Christians. Okay. Well, yeah. I tend to like Lions. I used to work with them and had far fewer problems with Lions than I have with Christians. 16 total games played in the field. Big clue, perhaps not significant. All right. I still think the best nickname in baseball belongs to Bob Ferguson, Death to Flying Things. That's a tough one to top as far as nicknames go. So if you can find a better. I mean, I know Luke Appling, Old Aches and Pains, that's a good one, but there's something about Death to Flying Things. That is one hell of a nickname. Yep, right. A lion's never made his head hurt. Yeah. Guys, thank you very much for coming in tonight. Please don't forget Legend Sports Universe. Excellent stuff. Bernard Storm has a game coming up tomorrow. Dwayne Mart's YouTube network as well. And, of course, the other guys around the community. Robert RGO Network, David Baseball Demos. Al Red Sox fan, Dave Gardner, everybody. You know, there's lots of stuff going on. Big Clue says, "Thank you. Death of Flying Things is definitely the best." John the Count Montefusco is a good one. It definitely is. It's one of JT Dutch's favorites. That is a good one. You're welcome, JT. Always a pleasure to have you in here. See you all too seldom. Any more baseball? Anybody doing any baseball? Well, wait. Ken's asking if anybody's doing any more baseball. I mean, if I do something, it's not going to be calling a game. It would be baseball for Windows. I just don't have the voice left for another game. I don't think. Tempting as it is to see what the Chicago Cubs do against the Cleveland Nats. So, anybody doing a game? Come on, somebody do a game. I think our Robbie Wartburg is. Well, we haven't seen him in a while. I think aren't the Rangers? They're home, right? Rangers are home. I've never followed the Texas Rangers until I got to know Robbie Wartburg. Yeah, they were home tonight, so we won't see Robbie. They won 5-1. They beat the Tampa Bay Rays. How about it? All right. Milwaukee defeats Philadelphia 5-3. Oakland took out the Red Sox 6-5. Wow. Okay. Let's see. Thanks Miami for not doing us a favor. St. Louis wins 6-4. Oh well. Texas is in first place in the left. Yeah, nobody follows it. No, John DFW is a Texas Ranger fan, actually. I'm pretty sure. So we do have two Texas Rangers fans in the community. Well, she's working as Magic in Arlington, says JT Dutch. Yeah, I don't know. Robbie's been working. I haven't seen him in a couple weeks. So, yeah, working. Robbie's doing his thing there down at that new ballpark. Why didn't they the old ballpark they had there at Arlington? I love that facade out there beyond center field. And why didn't they just design the damn thing with a roof? It's Texas. But no, they're playing footy in there now, I understand, and high school F-ball and all that. But I guess when you have Globe Life backing you, you can just build another ballpark, right? Pretty nice. Pretty nice, but yeah. We gotta get Death to Flying Things Bob Ferguson into something here. Best thing that Clinton has going is tickets to see Yes in September. Rangers are playing what looks like a gas grill. Yeah, exactly. So you're not going to see too many original members of Yes, Clinton, but I hope you enjoy the concert. I know John Anderson not going to be there, and of course, a couple of them are gone. But yeah, I know John Anderson's not on this Yes tour. Still, going to be good. I mean, Yes is such a great band. Unfortunately, most people only know Yes for the song Roundabout or Owner of a Lonely Heart, but so many great songs from that band. They're kind of like, I always thought of that like these two great prog rock bands, Pink Floyd and Yes. Pink Floyd's the darker, right? They're darker, they're moodier. And Yes is always kind of, they're kind of like, no, dude, let's be happy. And they did a really cool song that was a tribute to the Beatles, which was really, really, really nice that Yes did that. They're all big Beatles fans, so I have to find the song and put a link to it sometime for you guys. It's a cool Beatles tribute by another great band. Loved it. It's Clinton last chance to see the Yard Goats and the Whalers reunion luncheon. I'll drive. She's gonna see them. Oh, come on, what's wrong with prog rock? There's some great I just meant Pink Floyd, progressive rock. Are you saying you don't like Pink Floyd, Big Clue? Are you saying you don't like Pink Floyd? I'm worried. And of course, you have to. There's some other great bands, including the band that one of the progenitors of prog rock is my favorite band, and certainly there's the Moody Blues, also progenitors of that. King Crimson, I don't know, great band. Dream Theater, there's a band. Dream Theater, some serious good. That's like somebody took Yes, and think of your favorite sort of heavy metal band, melodic heavy metal band, put them together. Dream Theater is such a great band. Love them. Some prog rock is self-indulgent, though. It is. I agree. But I still like it. It's certainly better than Maroon 5. Blah. Big Clue says, I sang teachers leave us kids alone more times than I can count in the old school days. Well, dude, that's because you got to be listening to, the album Wish You Were Here, or you got to be listening to animals. You listen to sheep, listen to dogs, listen to, just listen to animals, man, and wipe that Pink Floyd's only #1 hit away out of your head, and wipe money out of your head. Yeah, go back and listen to metal, and even, I dare say, listen to The Final Cut and Delicate Sound of Thunder. Pink Floyd, for me, #2. Yep, second only to the Beatles. Learning to Fly, what a great one. Saw the Moody Blues. You saw them 53 years ago. I saw them not 53 years ago. I got to see them after Ray Thomas had passed. But the Moody Blues do a hell of a show. And what's amazing about them, like so many legendary bands, is the songs that they didn't do and could have done. It was like, oh my God, they didn't do this, they didn't do this, they didn't do that. They could have easily done a 4-hour show. Dark Side was a great album. Yes, it was. I prefer Animals as far as Pink Floyd. That's my favorite Pink Floyd album, but Dark Side of the Moon is fantastic. And you know the story about Great Gig in the Sky. Claire Torrey did that in one take. And I forget how, she was only paid like 20 or 30 pounds for it or something. She was actually going to be boarding a plane to come to America to see a ZZ Top concert. And they had Claire Torrey come into Abbey Road Studios. And, Richard Wright had this beautiful kind of laid back kind of jazz progression. And they brought in Claire Torrey, and that was done in one take. Great Gig in the Sky. And just incredible, incredible. Pink Floyd did cheat a little bit, though. So they actually were playing Dark Side of the Moon before it was ever released in their concerts to kind of gauge how audiences would receive it. And of course, that album is legend. Metal. Metal is a fine, fine Pink Floyd transition album. That's a great one, too. Early Pink Floyd can be bizarre to listen to. Atom Heart Mother is a strange album. Piper at the Gates of Dawn is pretty cool. So pre-Gilmore. Geez, usually we talk Mafia in here. Now we're talking rock, classic rock tonight. That's nice. I never really knew who, like some of you guys who you're into. So, but Bernard, the Moody Blues, love them. They're never going to ever play together again. There's just Justin Hayward and John Lodge left because, Mike Pinder, he's never going to rejoin the band. John Lodge was a bit of a jerk to him when they were finally inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. If you saw that, he didn't let Pinder speak, which I thought was a bit crap. Pinder was as much responsible for their sound as were all those other guys, Graham Edge. Denny Lane, you can kind of count out of that. He was just with them that first album. But Big Clue says Gregory stole the credit, but those monastic chants were originated by Clinton. Big Clue says rock is too modern for his taste. He's a swing big band kind of guy. Some good swing and big band music out there. Definitely. And you may laugh at this big clue, but Brian Setzer, what he did with the Brian Setzer Orchestra, late of Stray Cats, I thought it was really really cool. That in a way he really brought swing and big band music back to the forefront in the way the Beatles did with classical music. Sir Howard Goodall has a great documentary on the state of classical music when the Beatles came on the scene. And it was like it took these four working class kids to make us rediscover classical music. And I think the Brian Setzer Orchestra did much the same for big band and swing. So, good stuff. And you can even hear that. That was already coming in the Stray Cats. So, good stuff. Good stuff. All right. I guess that is it, gentlemen. Thank you very much for coming in tonight. Nobody else is doing a game, so I was kind of waiting on to see because Ken had asked if he was doing a game. My thanks to Big Clue, to Clinton Parks, to the heart and soul of this channel, the tardy though tonight, Ken Castro, to Bernard Strom's Sports Replays, 1950 Red Sox coming up tomorrow on his excellent channel, JT Dutch. A gentleman and a scholar, certainly. Thank you, JT, for coming in tonight and hanging out with us. D. Scott Howard, I didn't even see him come in. So, D. Scott, I'm sorry that I didn't see you come in. Rare treat to see you these days. John DFW joined us tonight here at Messer Street Grounds. Thank you. World's Worst Gamer, Legend Sports Universe. Continue watching that postseason in his franchise sports baseball league, and I'm jealous of you guys being able to catch him doing an actual live broadcast on Friday. So it'll be fun to watch the interactions in the chat. There is Aaron Reed, was with us in the ballpark tonight also. Thank you, Aaron. Always good to see you. Richard Davis hung out for a while with us. Thank you very much, Richard. And as we go back and channel our inner Chris Berman, Joe Murdy. And first in the ballpark tonight, Big Clue, who will win a, well, we can't say it on YouTube or I'll get shut down. All right, guys, live baseball, love it, digital it, cards and dice it, broadcast it, read it, proclaim it, and all those other things that I usually say. Until next we meet, see you around the batting cage, guys. Take care.